So hello and welcome to the launch of Season 8 of the Mundane to Magical Online Summit Series. My name is Louise Matson, and as always, I truly am blessed to be your host. Today I will be opening the summit with this live call and sharing some of the recent transmissions that's been coming through in various different client sessions and just been coming through as I go about my daily life channeling. And it's a lot about what's happening with us on an individual level and also collectively, but also a bit about kind of the structure of the energetic landscape that we live within, we exist within. And at the end, I will be doing a channel activation to really enable us all to fully embody our highest aspects of self, our highest vibrational frequencies and bandwidths within our physical form, which is, of course, the lowest frequency and bandwidth that we exist within. But for those of you who don't know me, I am an intuitive conscious channel. I'm a conduit for energy healing, a way shower and spiritual guide, and I assist people to connect with their truth and reclaim their power, shifting their lives from disempowerment to standing in their sovereignty, because this has been my path. This has been the path that my soul has chosen to experience and to master. And if we're looking at, what is our soul purpose, which so many of us are asking that question, really, the soul purpose for everybody is to embody all that they are in their incarnated aspect of self into this existence, into this reality, and allowing us to be our divine sovereign selves, having a physical experience, rather than seeing ourselves as a small human or just something or other. And having spiritual experiences. When it comes down to our mission and what we're here to do physically within this world, that becomes related to our soul contracts and more specifically the vibrations that we're here to master. And for me personally, I really have come here to master the vibration of the 9, which is all around power, and allowing myself to really fully stand in my power. And so for me, standing in the sovereignty, which is what I assist people to do, is really allowing us to live authentically, to live from all aspects of ourself. And that's something that wants to be talked to in this call, what it means to be our multidimensional selves, and not just kind of focusing our experience, our life experience, on one or two aspects of our existence in this incarnation. So the topic for today's wisdom sharing is being fully present as a multidimensional being. And it really is time. We are really being called to step up. And if we haven't already done so, connect with the truth that we are multidimensional beings. Spiritual beings, energetic beings, beings of light and love, having a physical human experience, as opposed to, oh, I'm just a human, I'm just living this life, and I may experience some occasional spiritual episodes. As always, please feel free to ask questions either in the chat, which is now working, or the Q&A box, and I will endeavour to answer as many questions as possible. I know this isn't as interactive as a Zoom meeting can be, but I do want it to be as interactive as possible. And as I said, after the sharing, I will also be providing a live channeled guided healing activation. And these transmissions are really powerful. So if you are driving or if you are listening whilst at work, then you may want to listen to the activation on the replay, which will be available as soon as I've uploaded it. And a replay email will be going out, but also you'll be able to find the links on the upcoming calls page on the website, mundanetomagicalliving.com, and also the replay page. So let's get into it. It's my real true pleasure to share with you what's been channeling through me recently. And it is really all about, the energetic structure who we truly are, but not just the energetic structure of who we are, but the energetic structure of who we are on the widest scale, on the collective scale, which kind of explains a little bit about what we're going through, what we're experiencing, and I hope enables us to navigate the sometimes quite challenging, sometimes quite intense and extreme energetic experiences that we're having or we see playing out in the physical landscape around us. I wish I could draw what I see with my mind's eye. One thing I must say as well, I have got 2 puppies since the last season. So if you hear little snuffly sounds or you hear little bits of movement in the background, it's my puppies. So I would apologise in advance for that. So I really wish that I could draw what I see with my mind's eye, because I'm a very visual person in terms of the channeled information that comes through. And what Spirit wants to share is this wider understanding of who we are as multidimensional beings. And so we have this, what people would call the auric field or the light body, which extends beyond our physical forms. So most people who tune into these calls will be aware that we're not just this physical body and that we extend way beyond this physical form, and that body of light, sound and vibration is again only a part of who we are. That is not the be all and end all of who we are. But the auric field, the energetic light field that is our wider expression within this physical landscape, that walks the path, the vibrations of the seen and the unseen, is our incarnated aspect. And so within that incarnated aspect, we have a bandwidth. We have a series of frequencies and vibrations which make our incarnated experience a multidimensional experience. Like I say, we're not just this physical form, so we're not just those lower vibrational frequencies that we are able and have been able to hold within this physical body. We are also those unseen vibrations, those higher vibrations, and a huge spectrum of vibrations within the entirety of our incarnated experience and our light body experience. And often when we start this work from a spiritual practice perspective, we're wanting to connect into those higher frequencies. We're wanting to raise our frequency, to connect into those aspects. And we do things like meditation and yoga, or we may be guided to go into nature and commune with the nature spirits, or whatever it is. And that's great, but that's also not all that we are. And it's important, essential at this time, for us really to come into that deeper understanding of the many different layers and dimensions of our own existence. And Spirit shows me it as a bit like kind of Arthur and his round table. You know, there's this table of all the different aspects, and all of those different aspects may have different archetypes that are associated with the different frequencies and the representations of those different frequencies. And it's important to have all of those aspects around the table, but for none of them to have any higher or lower stance. So there is no hierarchy. There's no hierarchy in our energetic experience of life. The hierarchy comes with the personality identification aspect, which we call the ego. It comes with the duality and the polarity that exists within the lowest vibrational consciousness of this planet that we exist upon and within, and that we are. Because ultimately, when we extend our awareness of self beyond this incarnated light body that holds all these different frequencies within it, we extend into the sort of, in essence, beyond the unseen realm of the incarnated experience. It's those higher aspects that incorporate the dragons and the angels and the unicorns and the fairies and the plant spirits and, you know, all of the different elementals. the crystal devas, everything and anything that we connect into from a very spiritual perspective, that we may see, we may experience as a sense of knowing, or may feel their presence, their energy in our field, and receive messages and guidance from them. So this incarnated aspect of ourselves exists in the center, as it were, of an even wider spectrum, an infinite spectrum of light, color, sound, vibrations. And they go all the way up to the pure source field of divine love and light that we see as source, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it. But they also go all the way down through the planetary consciousness, because our incarnated light body matrix extends in the unseen aspect into the planetary physical consciousness, the layer of physicality that we feel that we exist upon. And it mixes and merges with that energy. But we extend all the way down into the divine aspect, the pure source field of love and light, as it were, of the planetary consciousness, as above, so below, as within, so without. And so if we traveled all the way down through the many layers and dimensions of the planetary consciousness, we would then raise in frequency, because it's a mirror to that which we perceive as God and source, which is above. And we travel down into the highest frequencies that the planetary consciousness can hold. And of course, because the planetary consciousness is partly all that is, the highest frequencies it can hold is the pure source field of divine unconditional love and divine light. And so it is that mirrored reflection above and below. But also we get to own that aspect within as well as without. And what we're being called, I feel at the moment, to do is really to allow ourselves to see that and feel that and experience that. Karen's saying about a year ago, had a deep meditation of Arthur's Round Table, and Jesus and Saint Germain were there. She was told it was the Last Supper, and but then the guided webinar finished. But however we connect in, and again, we're going to connect in on a visual perspective, on a perceptual perspective, in the perfect way for us. So as a child, I connected in with the trees and the tree spirits, and I also connected in with dragons. Because my childhood, I had quite negative experiences of the church and religion and organized religions. So my go-to to channel wasn't Jesus or Mother Mary or any other religious archetype. For me, it was the dragons and the trees. But it really depends on you as an individual, because one of the beautiful things about this incarnated spectrum of light that we are is that it's individuated. It holds an individual divine frequency. It holds an individual divine signature of light and vibration and sound. And that's what, as it were, separates, but not in the negative form, us from, everything that we see and experience around us. That gives us that personality identification aspect. It gives us that element of being slightly different, being unique. But again, it comes down to perception on how we see that and view that. And again, there's no hierarchy. So nobody's truth is higher or lower than anybody else's truth. No one's unique signature is higher or lower than anybody else's unique signature. And ultimately, we are all one. But we're experiencing this physical realm as an individuated spark of the all that is, the divine. So whether you perceive yourself as color, as sound, or vibration, whether you perceive those aspects of yourself beyond, whether it be, as it were, above, moving up towards the pure diamond white source field, as the angels, as the ascended masters, as the unicorns, as the dragons, or whether you see yourself as you know, connected with the fairies and the tree spirits and the elemental kingdoms and the animal kingdoms. It doesn't matter. It's allowing yourself to connect in whatever way works for you, because we're being called to become that clear channel. And the clear channel, when I'm shown it, I'm shown there's a clear channel that joins these two source fields, if you like, that runs all the way through each individuated spark of the divine, each individuated aspect. And within that clear channel, we then have the energetic toroidal field that extends out, creating the incarnated light body matrix. And it extends out through the heart field and it extends out beyond our physical body, and creates that incarnated light body matrix. If that channel is blocked in any way, if we've created glass ceilings to limit our connection to our higher aspects, if we have resistance, if we have any distorted programs or overlays within that incarnated light body matrix that have come about through previous experiences in past lives where, you know, we've stood in our truth, we've stood in our power, we've embraced our gifts, and we've come to a sticky end, or our loved ones have come to a sticky end, seemingly because of our actions, then we're creating all of these different distortions and blocks and programs within ourselves that are going to stop us from connecting and being that clear channel. But what we're all collectively being called to do, and what we have been collectively being called to do, is to clear that channel, to become that clear and perfect channel, so that we are completely and freely connected to our highest aspects of self. Now, as I said, within the incarnated light body matrix, we hold a bandwidth, a spectrum of light, vibration, and sound. And those who are working consciously to clear their fields, to connect in with the highest frequencies, in whatever way that looks, and it's a purely individual process for each and every one of us, then we are going to have a set of frequencies that hold a certain bandwidth. So if the lowest vibrational consciousness on the planetary consciousness is, let's say, what it used to be, 7 to 8 hertz, our lowest frequency would have to be within a certain range of that lowest planetary consciousness frequency for us to be able to remain here. Otherwise, the gap is too big and it becomes far too uncomfortable. And a lot of people will probably be able to attest to the fact that, you know, when you came in, it was a real struggle. You know, if you're anything like my experience, you kind of landed here in this energetic soup and went, oh my goodness, where am I? And what is this place? And immediately wanted to leave. And so kind of existed within the higher vibrational aspects of our own incarnated light body matrix. So we weren't grounding into the lower frequencies because it just felt too icky. It felt too hard, too dense. And in some ways it felt painful to our hearts, because our heart field is where we hold our eternal flame, if you like. It's where we really truly connect in with our divine essence and those higher frequencies. It's the bridge between the lower frequencies of the physical body. And of course, you know, we have to be those lower frequencies to be able to exist physically on this plane. And so they are encoded into this physical form. But the heart is the bridge between those lower frequencies of our own incarnated light body matrix and the higher frequencies that we hold. A lot of people who have come in as so-called light workers, or, you know, whatever you want to call it, spiritual people, people who meditate, people who are very connected consciously to doing this work, will have a slightly elevated bandwidth. So we are just in the gap between the lower planetary consciousness as was when we came in. And so we're able to hold higher frequencies automatically when we come in. And the children of today are similar. Now, one thing that you'll have noticed if you're aware of the Schumann resonance and things like that is that the planetary consciousness from its lowest perspective is is higher than it was when, say, I came in the late 60s. It's certainly higher than when, our parents and grandparents came in. The other aspect that Source wanted to share was that I'm sure many of you know, the collective consciousness, the planetary consciousness, had been artificially held in a lower frequency. If you look at nature, if you look at anything that hasn't been altered or interfered with, it goes through natural cycles. It goes through natural cycles of death and rebirth, which is very apt for this time because we're just entering Scorpio season, which is all about death and rebirth, and in eclipse season as well, which is super powerful death and rebirth energy as well. But if you look at nature, it's all about death and rebirth. Nothing, and nothing ever really dies. If the leaves fall off the tree, they become the compost, they become the fuel for the next generation. They become the fuel for the tree itself, because the nutrients, they break down and they feed, they bring life. And so that whole aspect of we are eternal beings and nothing ever truly dies is played out. We see it being played out in nature all the time. If the planetary consciousness had been allowed to exist naturally, then the frequency, the lowest frequency of the planetary consciousness would have naturally ascended, lifted, raised, because the dense energy would have broken down, more light would have come through, and the frequency would have naturally risen. And that's what we're now seeing happening. Because this artificial, they kind of showed me it as a see-through dome that had been placed on top of the planetary consciousness, has been lifted. It's gone. It can no longer hold the planetary consciousness frequency in an artificial state of density. Now, prior to that happening, we were, as it were, eating from the same dense energy that we were then manifesting from. Everything was kind of held in stasis. So we couldn't manifest higher timelines because we were fueling ourselves with this dense energy, and everything became very stagnant and very thick. What's been happening is over the last few decades, as people of a higher frequency have been coming in, even those that have come in as babes, holding such a high frequency that they just couldn't maintain themselves in a physical form. But they came in to bring that light in. They came in, brought the light in. That light frequency entered this planetary consciousness, lower vibration experience, the physical reality, as it were, and started to break through, blast through this dense composted layer. And so now that process of composting is able to actually take place, and that's what we're doing. So although the work that we do within our incarnated aspect of self, to clear our fields, to release ourselves from any and all attachment, connection, command, decrees that keep us anchored into these lower frequencies and these lower timeline experiences, all the work that we do on an individual level is helping to create this clear and perfect channel so that the divine light from the source above and the source below, from the highest planetary consciousness, can come through. We are the bridge. We are the bridge between those two source aspects. And so in us doing this work on an individual level, and again, that's going to look very different for each and every one of us, we are assisting the collective. We are assisting the collective we, as it were, because we are being those clear channels so that the light can come in and blast through this dense, composted, thick, dense layer that we've been living from and manifesting from for generations. And so we're literally blasting holes through this dense layer. So it's not about necessarily getting other people to do it. It's about focusing on you, focusing on you clearing your channel, you embodying as much of your highest frequency of light as you can, so that we can actually raise the planetary consciousness up to a higher level. I think it's reaching about 100 hertz now, quite, regularly, and frequency. So if you imagine, if your bandwidth is here and it's just touching 7 to 8 hertz, and yet the planetary consciousness raises to 100, you can leap up here. And so your bandwidth, again, you only need to be touching it to a degree that's sufficient to enable you to physically stay here in the physical form. But you'll be able to bring so much more of the higher frequency energy through, either from above or from below. And this is where we get to play with the new earth codes that are held within this crystalline center, this crystalline heart of the planetary consciousness, Earth. And we get to bring those up, because rather than, putting our roots and anchoring into this dense lower level, which is all we really had an option to do before, we can go beyond that. We can go below that, down into those higher frequencies, and bring through those new earth codes, bring through those new highest vibrational upgrades and encodements and connections, and the ability to manifest in the physical reality from that space, from that energetic space. So a lot of people, myself included, I will hold my hand up, will have done the work by starting high, clearing our highest vibrational layers. And we're working down into the lowest vibrational aspect of self, the dense layer that holds our physical tissue. And so you may be experiencing lots of clearing, lots of releasing on a very, very physical nature. And I know I have for the last 2 weeks. One of the things that has come into my awareness is that Venus, for the first time in 250 years or so, has moved into Libra. And it's moved, I think it's 29 degrees of Libra on Saturday. Well, my Jupiter is at 29 degrees of Libra. I have 29 degrees, my Pluto is at 29 degrees, my Mars is at 29 degrees, my Moon is at 29 degrees, my Saturn is at 29 degrees. So I've had a massive whammy of, okay, Venus moving into Libra. Venus is all about what your values are, not necessarily just about love and money, but what do you value? What is it that you value? Well, my values have all related to my soul contract, which is being able to stand in our sovereignty, being able to live authentically, living a soul-fueled, magical life, being connected to the all that I am as much as I can be within this incarnated aspect. And so I've done a lot of clearing on a physical level these past 2 weeks, from my chest, from my heart, and from my throat, the two areas that I had blocked during my earlier years of life, just to fit in, just to survive, which I'm sure many of you have too. But if you are experiencing any physical symptoms, any quite painful and challenging clearing symptoms, rest assured you're doing the work. It may not look in a very pleasant way, but you are doing the work to clear your channel so that you can hold and contain even more higher frequencies of divine love and light that you are. And you can be that channel for the light to come through and blast through that dense layer of the planetary consciousness. Now, how that is going to look on the physical landscape can be quite challenging. We talk quite flippantly about, blasting through the density and, breaking up the old paradigm and bringing in the new paradigm. And it all sounds wonderful, and it is. But what that means in physical reality can be quite scary. The old paradigm is everything, all of the structures that we've existed with and known to be truth. So, the ways in which we interact with people, the relationships that we've had with people, our work, our job, who we see ourselves to be, let alone on the wider collective scale, the financial structures, the educational structures, the governmental structures. We're seeing absolute chaos playing out in the UK at the moment with, 1 minute we've got one prime minister, and the next minute, I think the last one lasted something like 42 days or something. I don't know. I don't watch the news, so I don't really keep up with it. But we're seeing quite extreme, real life, as it were, reality experiences occurring, but it's all of this dense layer being broken up. So although it's great, it's wonderful, and it's exactly what we're here to do, it can actually be quite triggering and quite challenging for some of the aspects of our incarnated light body to deal with. And in particular, those aspects that are actually very connected to our personality identity, which is our ego, who we've seen ourselves to be, who we've been taught that we are. So again, it is super, super important to recognize that you're a multidimensional being and to honor every aspect that sits around that table. It doesn't matter who or what they are. It can be your fear, it can be jealousy, it can be however they show up. It can be your highest aspect of self. They're all equal, they all have an equal voice. And the work is and has been to kind of go into the shadow of yourself, to actually welcome them to the table and say, here, have a seat at the table. You have a voice, you are honored, you are respected, you are loved. And it's allowing ourselves to become whole, to allow this incarnated light body matrix to fully integrate and become whole, so that we're not just living our lives from certain aspects, the higher frequencies, and going la la la, dense energy doesn't exist, the lower vibrations don't exist within me, I'm just love and light. And I'll hold my hand up, I did that back when I was in my 20s. I denied being angry, I denied any of those vibrations that I saw as low and dense, and I didn't want anything to do with. But that's, for me, I learned that's not the way. It is about allowing, it's about inclusivity, it's about allowing all aspects to have a seat at the table, hearing them, seeing them, and giving them that space to have their voice. Doesn't mean to say that you have to be influenced by any of them. For you stand as witness, you stand in that divinely neutral position, able to recognize and acknowledge all aspects of yourself, knowing yourself to be this multidimensional being, but also knowing that actually even all of you aspects that are around the table are only a part of who I am. It's only this individuated aspect that is experiencing this life. And so I can stand separate. I can be the onlooker. I can be the witness. I can hear. But I'm not influenced. I'm not pulled in any one direction. I will make a choice. I will make a decision in which I choose to act based on what feels right, based on what feels in alignment, and following my truth and allowing my truth to be flowing and changing. It's the truth, our own truth doesn't remain the same. It will flow from 1 minute to the next. So allowing ourselves to change our minds, to do something different to what we said yes to a minute ago can be a no the next moment. And one great example, and being okay with that, because again, the personality identification aspect is quite often very locked into certain beliefs, certain ways of being. It's structured, it likes structure, it likes rigidity, that's what it's had. But as we bring in these divine feminine energies and we allow that all to balance up, the divine feminine is all about flow. Divine masculine is that elevated masculine energy, that doing energy. However, it's not like, oh, I'm just going to do, now I've got the reins, my way or the highway. It's constantly checking in. Divine feminine, masculine, working together in partnership, unified. And when the divine feminine has filled with inspiration and gone, yeah, it's go time, the divine masculine is constantly going, okay, which direction are we going in now? Which direction are we going in now? And shifting and moving and changing. Akasha was meant to be launching season 8, and unfortunately realized at the last minute that she was flying back in on the day and couldn't make the live call. Now, my little human self could well have gone, oh my God, I've got to do this, that, and the other. Oh my God, I planned for this, and could have had a real challenge. But I just thought, oh, great. It means I get to launch season 8 and I get to do my live call instead. And so I opened myself up and let Source just provide me with what I was going to talk about, and just went with that flow. And that is allowing yourself to be all of those multidimensional aspects, acknowledging the little human self going, and going, yeah, I hear you, but it's okay. Because, these other aspects are really excited, and actually that feels in alignment to kind of go and take action from that space. But acknowledging that voice, acknowledging that frustration or that fear or the anxiety or whatever it is that's coming up, not denying or suppressing or repressing any aspect of yourself, honoring it, hearing it, seeing it, but possibly choosing to take action from a different aspect of your own being. So Caroline's saying the openings are magical, instant manifestations, many changes, lots of abundance in all forms. She's in a blissful portal all around. Yes, we are in amazing times. Interesting times as well. I am saying, oh, that's interesting quite a bit. And I do find that helps. I also find that this too shall pass helps a lot. But also having the awareness that even if it's something really yummy and really good and a place where you're enjoying being, this too shall pass. But yeah, so, and thank you, Caroline, saying I look younger, bright and alive. Thank you. Well, yeah, I mean, again, when we allow ourselves to live authentically, when we allow ourselves to be the clear and perfect channel that we are constantly fueled by our divine light essence. And that doesn't mean to say that I don't have bad days. It doesn't mean to say that, I don't experience the roller coaster of being in a physical form. I do. But it's allowing yourself to be that clear channel that, again, you can speak to all those different aspects. You can have all of these different perspectives on the same situation and just move through, shift through these experiences so quickly. And then, of course, you're radiating those higher frequencies that are all integrated throughout your body, throughout your emotions, your mental processes, allowing that to radiate out. Because ultimately, everybody's purpose and mission, as I said, is to embody their individuated aspect of truth, their individuated spectrum, and to radiate it out. And it becomes this massive permission slip to everybody and everything that you encounter, for that to radiate all of their frequencies out and to allow them to be their truth, to live their truth and be authentic. And it's beautiful. It is so beautiful to experience that. So thank you. June says recently her challenges and clearing blocks has been happening in the mental and emotional levels. Yeah, not very comfortable, and making her question so much of her life as it is at the moment. And questioning is good. Questioning is fine. I remember Spirit saying to me, I think it was about a year or two ago, question everything. I remember as a child, I used to say, why is this? Why is that? And so my mum and dad got me those Tell Me Why books. But it is question everything. Why do I respond in this particular way? Why is it that I react in this way? Why am I in the relationship I'm in? Why am I in the living space that I'm in? Is it the right space for me? But when we ask the questions, be open to receive the answers, to be open to receive the answers from our own hearts, and not being fearful, not being afraid of what those answers may be. Because it may not actually be what your egoic aspect of self wants to hear or is comfortable hearing, but that's okay. And again, it's all aspects are equal. And so our highest aspect of self may be saying, leap off this cliff, make this massive change. And our egoic self is going, whoa, okay, that's just ripping the rug out from under me and I can't deal with that right now. Again, as that witness, you get to hear all the voices and you get to say, yeah, higher self, I hear you. But this time, actually, I'm going to compromise, because I really need all aspects of me to come along on this journey together. That's what integration is, that you're all walking down. I've got visions now of Dorothy and Toto and all going down the yellow brick road for some reason. So you've got all aspects of yourself walking hand in hand down the path, the golden path, rather than, kind of dragging your egoic self kicking and screaming behind you. So it's a co-creation rather than a dictatorship. As I say, no aspect has any hierarchy over anything else. And that, I think, is where we're seeing in the physical reality a lot of the hierarchies that have been in existence and been very secure, we're now questioning. We're now questioning on a wider front, a wider scale. But again, allowing that process to happen on a very intrinsic level and a very internal level as well. So let's have a look, see. Okay, so that question, it's all just around the chat not working and everything. That's fine. So has anybody got any questions or anything about what I've shared, what's been discussed? Or do you just want to go into, because I'm aware of the time actually, do you just want to go into the activation, which is really beautiful? It's a really beautiful activation. It came through earlier today. Just let me know. If anybody's got any questions, please feel free to pop them in the chat. Otherwise, we can get on with the activation. Okay, nothing's coming up on Q&A. How do I overcome fear of your clairs? Okay, so one of the biggest aspects is around clearing your field, clearing the distorted layers and those glass ceilings, those inner blocks, which you can call your healing team in to do that. It may actually happen in the activation as well. When I came in with my claircognizance and my clairsentience, so my knowing and my feeling really strong, because I came in knowing who we are and I shut things down. Anything that was obviously related to signs of so-called madness, I shut down completely. So I wasn't having anything to do with seeing that which wasn't there and hearing voices. So in essence, if you've got the fear of any of your gifts, any of your natural innate gifts, because you're an energetic being, everything is energy, that's the realm that we also live and work within, then request a healing and clearing. Allow the healing team to clear any of those distortions, because what will be happening is all time is now. So in a past life, in an alternate life experience, again, you will have experienced something where you stood in your power. You may even have abused your power. Something happened in a certain incarnation that meant that you created a contract or an agreement or a promise or a command or a decree. So, for example, if you were living your truth and you got burned at the stake for it, or you got killed in some way, or your whole village got killed because you were living your truth and you wouldn't back down, then you kind of create these commands and decrees. I'm never doing that again. I mean, I can think back into this lifetime alone, and I've said that so many different times, which I've now cut, cancelled and deleted on. But those commands and decrees, we're literally writing in our divine essence, and they still hold within our field. And so they don't let us release from that lifetime experience. And so that wound is happening, because all time is now. We're reliving it over and over and over and over again. And so it then becomes a pattern, and we have similar experiences, and therefore it becomes even more instilled. And so we create these distorted overlays and programs and beliefs and crystalline blocks within our field of light that kind of presses the stop button, that either doesn't let us have anything to do with certain things by creating fear and anxiety and things like that, or if we start down this track of really opening up to our truth and really embodying all our energy, our gifts and talents, kind of shuts everything down. Something might happen, a tragedy might happen, or an illness might happen, or something. So clearing those and asking the healing team, you don't have to go into each individual life. Your ego is very good at attaching, so my recommendation is don't go into the life, just ask for that all to be cleared. And the other thing is also allowing fear to have a seat at the table and have a conversation with it. Say, okay, fear, you have the stage. You know, I honor you, I respect you, I see you. You know, speak to me, because quite often those aspects just want to be heard. You know, we've suppressed and repressed them for so many lifetimes that they just want to have a voice. And that's the kind of the shadow aspect, but also remembering that on the flip side of the shadow work is the light work. So, you know, allowing your gifts to have a voice, allowing your light to have a voice, hearing all aspects of you. And again, it's not that we we do that which is in alignment, and we work at our own pace. So for me, with the seeing and the hearing, it was softly for many years before I did enough work to clear that I felt, okay, I'm in a state of trust and faith enough that I feel ready to do this and go all in and commit. But, you know, if you're not a, you know, leap off the cliff kind of a person, then just take one baby step at a time. The most important thing is that you actually acknowledge your fear and you hear it fully, because that's a big part of the process of releasing it. Because if we shine the light on those aspects that are hidden and we call the shadows, then they're no longer what we thought they were. You know, it's not as big and as scary as we believe them to be. They have far more power while they're in the shadows than when we bring them to the light. You've been scared to see ghosts. Yeah. One of the things that the other thing to remember is that you are a divine creator being, and we create our own reality. When I was a child, I was not interested in seeing dead people, and I wasn't interested in communicating, connecting with anybody who just passed and was still connected to an ego. So I stated, I'm only connecting with those highest vibrational beings of divine love and light, with messages and guidance for mine and others' greatest and highest good. So just as we've created command and crees to block ourselves, we can also say, okay, you know, I don't want to do that. I don't want to see ghosts, you know. But there may come a time where, having worked with releasing the fear and everything and really fully understanding where that gift or that ability of being able to see the unseen realm can benefit you, that you may actually change your mind further down the road. So it's like, you know, recognizing that, again, as I say, flow. What I do in one moment, I can undo in the next, because I have control. Nothing is controlling me. Nothing has power over me. I state what happens in my energetic field. So just, you know, playing with your boundaries, but also playing with the fact that you have your own power. And when we allow ourselves to stand in our power, it's recognizing that I have the power to state that which I'm comfortable with and not comfortable with in this moment. So, you know, being okay with that. Okay, so June's just saying that makes sense. getting all aspects of self in harmony. Yes. Yeah, things, I mean, change is the only constant, that's the thing, but it's allowing yourself to go to those aspects that have just blocked you and stopped you and saying, okay, let's sit down, let's chat. I want to hear you. I want to see you fully, and then see where that goes. A lot can be released in connecting and honoring those aspects. Yeah, I realised it was fear, not Ria. Okay, I'm aware of the time, so let's get on and do this activation. So like I said, if you're driving or if you're using heavy machinery or anything like that, then yeah, don't do the activation and go back and listen to the replay. I will also try and separate the activation off so that it's available as a separate aspect as well. So this channel activation is to enable you all to become fully present as your multidimensional selves and to embody your divine DNA for those who are ready to do so. So just allow yourselves to get comfortable in the space that you're in and bring your awareness down from your head into your heart field. Allowing yourselves to connect in with your own divine light source, your eternal light, the highest frequency of self that you are and that you can hold within your energetic light body. And then allowing your awareness of that light to expand as we call in your healing teams, those highest vibrational beings of divine love and light that you are in the dimensions beyond your incarnated form. And you may feel, sense, see, or know them connecting in with your field of light. You may feel their presence within your field. And they are creating the perfect container of light around your field, so that no interference or influence from external energy sources can impact on your light body matrix at this time. And this container of light is individual to you. It is the perfect shape and form, created in lines of liquid, divine, photonic white light from the pure source field above. Again, you may have an awareness of this container. You may see it forming around you. Just allow whatever you're receiving is perfect. And when this container of light is created, it is then filled with divine photonic white light, clearing and releasing all lower vibrational energy within the environmental field surrounding your light body matrix. Instantly transmuting, aligning and harmonizing to your own individual divine frequency, so that the outer environmental frequencies are in balance and harmony with your internal spectrum of light, sound, and vibration. And as you focus on your highest vibrational frequency, the highest vibrational frequency that you hold within your divine vibrational structure, your multidimensional bandwidth, the healing team are working to clear and remove any and all blocks, attachments, resistance issues, interference, programs, beliefs, any discordant energy, anything not in harmony, not in alignment with your divine spectrum that may be blocking you, interfering with your flow and the flow of your own divine resonance field, blocking your connection through your column of light to the all that is, the all that you are above and below. So just allowing that divine frequency of light, sound and vibration that you are to expand from your heart field, the frequency of which is not diminished in any way as it expands front and back, side to side, and top to bottom throughout your wider field of light. Just allowing your awareness of your highest frequency to expand, to encompass your upper abdomen, your solar plexus area, and your throat. Again, the divine radiant frequency is neither diminished nor lessened in any way, as it expands in front and behind, from side to side, above and below. Now allow your awareness of this highest divine frequency to expand even further, encompassing the whole of your lower abdomen, all the way down to your pelvic girdle and the tops of your thighs, and all the way up to encompass your forehead, your third eye. Allowing an awareness of yourself as one unified field of light in alignment with your highest frequency that can be held within your multidimensional incarnated light body matrix. And once again, allowing this energy to expand above, below, in front and behind, and from side to side, maintaining its vibration and frequency throughout. And then allowing your awareness to expand even further, so that this unified field of your own highest vibrational frequency is encompassing the whole of your physical body and beyond. Below your feet and above your head, to the furthest most boundaries of your incarnated light body matrix, above, below, in front and behind, and side to side. Allowing your awareness of self to extend beyond your physical form, to the outermost boundaries of your incarnated light body matrix, allowing a full and true awareness of who you truly are as a multi-dimensional being of light in this physical landscape, knowing exactly where your energy field starts and stops within the wider environmental energetic field. And as you allow your light to expand, acknowledging and recognizing this highest vibrational frequency throughout your entire light body matrix, your healing teams are working within your field of light, clearing and releasing, healing and recoding, mending any tears within your light body matrix, so that it is not only possible for you to feel and experience this highest vibrational frequency of your own divine essence within your incarnated light body matrix, but that you are also able to maintain that frequency connection. And as you allow yourselves to connect to your highest frequency within your light body form, allow your awareness to travel up through your central column, all the way to the pure source field of divine love and light that you are. Experience your connection to the eternal source field of love and light, and bring through whatever information, guidance, encodements, and upgrades that you are ready to receive at this time. And again, as you draw your awareness back down into your unified field of light, into your aligned and resonant field of light, vibration, and sound, encompassing all of your frequencies in harmony and symphony as the divine orchestra that you are. Draw down whatever information and guidance, encodements and upgrades that are ready to be embodied within. And then allow your awareness to travel down through your central column, down through the many different vibrational fields of the Earth's planetary consciousness that you are. Knowing yourself to be not only the many frequencies and bandwidths held within your incarnated light body, but the multitude of frequencies that you are, extending out beyond your incarnated light body, all the way up to the pure source field of light and all the way down to the pure source field of light as the planetary consciousness. For as above, so below. As within, so without. And once again, as you reach the frequency of the pure source field of divine love and light of the planetary consciousness, allow that energy to flow back to your incarnated unified field, allowing yourself to receive whatever encodements, upgrades, messages and guidance, and to connect with whatever highest vibrational beings present themselves within those higher realms of planetary consciousness. And as you draw your awareness back from this golden crystalline light of the pure source field, allow yourself to bring back those perfect encodements and vibrations of your divine DNA. This divine DNA that is held within both connections and attachments to the pure source field above and the pure source field below. Witnessing the diamond white DNA structure flowing down from the pure source field above, through your central column, into your heart field, and into your body matrix. And the golden crystalline DNA structure flowing up from the pure source field of the planetary consciousness into your heart field and your body matrix. And as these DNA structures meet within your central column of light, they begin to overlay, overlap, and merge as one. And if you are ready to do so, allow these combined divine DNA sequences, the merged sequence of the pure source field of consciousness above and below, to integrate within all of the multidimensional frequencies of your individuated, incarnated light body, all the way down to your physical DNA. Overlaying, overlapping, integrating and merging, upgrading and encoding your entire multidimensional incarnated field with the encodements of your own divine DNA blueprint, which carries all of your gifts and wisdom, strengths and talents, lessons and blessings, to take you through this and beyond this now, into the future nows to come. And allowing these frequencies to be fully felt, feeling them flowing into the very muscles, tissues, sinews, bones and cells, flowing into your physical body, grounding into your physical form, which has been prepared energetically by your healing team to receive. Feeling the structure of this divine DNA flowing all the way down to your toes, up your legs and into your pelvic girdle. Feeling these divine light codes, these divine vibrational frequencies and sounds flowing into your abdomen, filling your divine creative matrix, filling the whole of your lower body, allowing your diaphragm to expand so that you can draw down more of these divine frequencies with each breath. Filling your heart space, your chest, and feeling your chest expanding and filling with more and more light. Feeling it flow up your throat, into your jaw, into each individual tooth, and filling your head, behind your eyes, your ears, all the way up to the top of your head, and all the way out to your fingers on your outstretched hands. You may experience a tingling sensation as your incarnated field of light is embodying these highest vibrational codes of your own divine essence and being opened to receive that which is perfect for you in this moment and each moment to come. As you consciously allow yourself to move forward on your own individual highest vibrational timelines, just bask in the experience of this expanded awareness of the all that you are. And then when you are ready, allowing your awareness to come back into your heart field, not contracting your energy field in any way, not diminishing your light, but just allowing your incarnated light body matrix to settle into a state into an awareness of frequency and vibration so that you can continue your day with the utmost ease and grace. And as always, we command that all of this work be integrated with the utmost ease and grace as you move forward, allowing your awareness to come back into the physical body, in the space that you're in, bringing movement back into your fingers and toes and stretching out any tightness in your muscles, releasing the last residue of any resistance that you may be feeling, and then coming back into full awareness of yourself as the incarnated, multidimensional being that you are, in the body and space that you're in. And when you're ready, opening your eyes and welcome back. How are you all doing? Powerful, thank you. It is powerful. I was feeling the energy. It's quite different for me because I am clairsentient, so I kind of feel from an energetic perspective what the healing teams are doing with you all. But yes, it's powerful, but it's also beautiful, and of course you can listen back at any time, and you will always receive something more. He was saying, great, it was phenomenal, very beautiful, vibrating a lot. Yeah, just again, whatever time zone you're in, whatever your plans are, you may feel that you need to kind of physically ground, kind of allow these energies to settle. I always do ask that the integration is done with the utmost ease and grace, but knowing that, you know, that can mean different things to each of us. And, you know, for example, me clearing for the last 2 weeks, you know, it was done with the utmost ease and grace. It could have been a lot worse. Michelle said, felt like they were in a beautiful, warm, loving cocoon. That's nice. Whenever I do the summits, I'm always holding space for the duration of the summit. So you are all being held in a container of divine, unconditional love and light for you to make the most of all of the speakers and all of the transmissions, whether you experience them live or whether you experience them on the replays. And just know, don't be afraid of missing the lives, because the replays, hopefully I will get the live streaming sorted. But if not, the replays are always available as soon as I upload them after the live call. And as well, they're available on the YouTube channel for as long as people need them to be. That's what the guidance has been now from Source. So, you know, they're there for you to go back to. The other thing that I will say as well, as we move into the live interviews with other speakers, is if you can't make it to the live and yet you have, you know, you're aware of a speaker and you have a question that you want to ask them, then please fill out the Ask the Question form on the upcoming calls page on the website. So that's at https://www.mundanetomagicalliving.com/upcoming calls. I think the link is pretty much on every email that goes out, but just in case, it's a one-stop shop, the website. So the upcoming calls page holds the links to the free gifts, the special offers, the replays. There's a replay tab on the top of the website page, but it also has the ask a question button as well. So if you do have a question and you can't make it to the live, then please feel free to fill that form out, and I will answer as many questions. I will ask as many of the questions as I can during the live interviews with people. Oh, Louisa was late, but looks forward to the replay. Yeah, I was just saying the replay will be available as soon as it's uploaded, which hopefully won't take too long after this live is finished. Trina asks, I would love to find a way to connect one-to-one. I just found you and truly grateful for the sharings. Because I was ill for 2 weeks, I haven't got together my special offer, but I will be putting it up on the free gifts page, and also it will be on the link underneath my picture on the replay page and the upcoming calls page. So I have a website, www.loumatson.com, which all of my services are available on there, but I will be providing a special offer, which will probably be a discounted rate for a one-to-one session. So yes, all the details on how to connect with my work are on the emails, but also I will be doing that as well. Karen says, just wanted to say, appreciate all the work that I've done on myself, which is passed on to us. Yeah, yes. Well, I mean, that's the beautiful thing. That really is the beautiful thing. You know, people get so caught up in what we're here to do for others. Actually, the biggest thing you can do for others is to bring yourself into alignment with your own multidimensional magnificence, and really allow yourself to embody your truth, and to be that permission slip to radiate that absolute unconditional love and light out. I remember, oh God, about 20, maybe even 30 years ago now, I did some automatic writing, and I just at the top said, who am I? And I just let the pen scroll away and write away. And I went through all of the different lists of, you know, the human things that I was. And ultimately, it just kept repeating, love and light, love and light, love and light. And I honestly believe that's what we all are at our very core, at our source. That is the frequency that we are. Some of us are bringing other frequencies in, like joy and freedom and all of those things. And it really depends on your soul contract as to the specific vibrations that you're radiating through your field, which is something else, if you're interested in looking at, then on my website, I do soul contract readings to see what specific frequencies you're here to master. But ultimately, the work we do on ourselves benefits all, and benefits the wider we that we are. Maria says, got confirmation through you what I thought about being heavy health issues. I can trust my own information. Yeah, absolutely. It really, it comes down to us learning to trust and have faith in our connection, in the guidance and the messages that we're receiving. We're not always going to receive them in a conversational narrative. We're going to receive them just in a sense of knowing. We're going to receive them in a line in a song that really strikes us, or you know, whatever it is, something on the telly, a conversation with a friend. But just know that that's your universal self communicating with you. And if you ask the question, you will be answered. It's just that quite often with the blocks in our clear channel, we block the receiving, we block the translating, the making sense of the universal self talking to us all the time. But when we get out of our own way and we really open up our field and allow ourselves to just receive in whatever way we're sharing with ourselves, it's such a beautiful way to live. It really is. And things do flow. Things will flow. Our experience, even if the experience may seem challenging to the human aspect of self, that challenge is greatly lessened than it was previously. And also, you know, we flow through those challenges far, far quicker, far quicker. Petronella says, thank you, relaxing and peaceful. Saw someone pouring light brown syrup in a cup for you. Oh, wonderful. That sounds like something I need right now. Right, so that is everything of my sharing for today. It really truly has been an honor to share space with you again, and to be able to launch season 8. Everything is perfect and in perfect timing, so I feel really blessed for that. Tomorrow I'm super excited because, well, we've got the eclipse. This season was meant to be in September, and Source guided me to put it back, and I thought it was because of the poppies and things like that, which I must say they have been remarkable. Thank you, boys. You are wonderful spirits. And yeah, when I was guided to do it this week, I had no idea the eclipse was happening bang in the middle of it. And then, of course, David Farrell chose the day of the eclipse to come and speak to us. So he's on tomorrow, which I'm really excited about. He's much loved speaker from last season. And he's going to be sharing some information about working with plant kingdoms through immersions and some of the wisdom that's come through his recent Dandelion and Artemisia immersions, as well as discussing the Elder immersion, which is currently ongoing, and all of the wisdom and magic that Elder wishes to share with us at this time. And then on the backside of the eclipse, not that we're on the backside of it, because obviously we've got the full moon eclipse on, I think it's the 8th of November, and we'll be in the eclipse energies for months. But we've got Peter Tong coming in to share the eclipse season, what it's all about, and how to navigate it, and how to make the most benefit from it as well. So I'm super excited for the interviews that are coming up over the next few days. We've got live interviews throughout this season, so there's no pre-recorded calls. So yeah, I hope you enjoy them as much as I'm going to. I'm super excited. We've got some new speakers and some much loved returning speakers, but everything is perfect, and whatever wisdom they're sharing, I trust is absolutely perfect for the moment. So with that, I am going to sign off. I'm going to give my voice a rest, and I wish you all so much love. And I look forward to seeing as many of you as can make the live calls again. But I am always holding space for the whole container of this summit, and I enjoy being merged with all of your energy fields, whether you connect live or in the replay, however you're connecting in. Feel free to join us in the Facebook group and comment and share your experiences. I always love connecting with people, or reach out to me on an individual level. My email addresses are on the emails as well. So love you all so much. I will get my special offer together. What I'll probably do is sort the activation from today's for the free gift, and pop that up on the free gift page as well. I will get that together hopefully tomorrow, but if not, it will be at some point throughout the summit. So just keep checking in. So much love, everybody. I'm going to sign off. Have a great rest of your day, and excited, season 8 started, yay. All right then, take care. So much love. Bye.